There's a preamble in the college catalog to the economics section where we talk about economics as being an adaptable frame of reference that students can use to make sense of almost any real-world situation that they are drawn to, or they're confronted with, or they find interesting. Economics doesn't provide all the answers to every question, but it certainly does help one frame the issues and then create a starting point, at least, for an analysis and understanding the complexities of the various issues. There's nothing that I think is more exciting for me personally than when I'm sitting in a classroom explaining something, and you can just, and it happens every year, a student says, I mean, literally, they'll do, I see. And when that happens, that's extremely rewarding. Extremely rewarding. And I think that's why I do it. To be comfortable with the fact that there isn't necessarily a clear, correct, always right answer to every question. There are actually more questions for which we don't have good answers than there are for which we have good answers. And not all of them, many of them come to college thinking that I'm here to provide them with the answers. And that's not my job. My job is to help them understand what the questions are and how one would think their way through the issues associated with the question so you can come to a reasoned understanding of people's points of view. I went to a private liberal arts college. My first and second jobs were at a private liberal arts college. My third job, Linfield College, is a private liberal arts based college. It is probably I believe, in terms of student enrollments, the smallest segment of higher education that you can find. It's also one of the more expensive segments because it provides students with one-on-one, hands-on interaction with faculty and staff in ways that they simply do not get at State U. And we get lumped in with everybody else whenever issues associated with higher education hit the headlines. The big one right now is the student loan crisis. And it's not a crisis here. It's a crisis in a totally different sector of higher education where the real problem with student indebtedness is. And yet we get some of the flack of that, and we get tarred with some of that same press. And I think it's crucial for people to understand that what they see in the headlines doesn't always apply to Linfield College. One of the things to always ask people when they say costs is ask them, do you mean what students pay or what the colleges spend to educate the students? Because those two things get conflated a lot. And then if you land on the what students pay side, ask them if they're talking about the sticker price, which is what gets published in our catalog, or the net price, which is what the students actually pay after they receive financial aid. And if you look at only at the sticker price, it's totally misleading in terms of what the cost of college, what it costs students to go to college. If you look at the net price, what you'll find is the net price has not risen outrageously relative to prices more broadly in the economy, and always question what the assertion is based on. You hear something like that, and then if they want to talk about costs that college spend, that's an even different issue than the prices that students pay. And you always find the net price is far below the sticker price, and that the net price has risen much less rapidly, even though the sticker price has gone up, because colleges have continued to provide financial aid to offset the price effects to their neediest students, or in an attempt to offset the price effects. I think it's cool to have my name associated with Dave's. I'm proud that that's happened. I can think of very, very few people who have given as much to Linfield College as Dave Hansen has. And from that point of view, it's an honor to be named the Hansen Chair.